I guess the first thing for me, Luke, is we did all the stuff about, how the legacy weekend did, but what kind of things did you guys do like inside that facility? What was kind of things that were covered in that?
Yeah, they just, there was a lot of involvement with the parents. They showed the parents pretty much everything, and kind of just like made family with everybody. They split up into offense and defense, and the coaches just talked about what type of stuff they're going to be doing with their sons and stuff, and with us as athletes, and what their plans are for us, and all that good stuff. And then we also went into like your positional meetings with the coaches. And I mean, in the quarterback room, we just talked about like what's the mindset of being a quarterback at this level, and for Florida State, and kind of like what they expect, and that every day you have to set a standard for yourself. So that was pretty much all. And then of course, they had the little photo shoot going for the players that wanted to do that.
Yeah. You did a lot of recruiting, I know, this weekend. I think immediately when you got there, you were all over Charles Lester in the practice watching it. But just being around the different recruits, what was kind of the response you were seeing of this kind of legacy weekend? Because this is a little different visit than I guess most junior days and stuff like that. So what was kind of the reaction you were getting from other top recruits?
Yes, sir. I mean, pretty much everybody was in love with the place. I mean, what's there not to love, right? I mean, we're back on the rise again. I mean, and just watching the practice, the energy that Coach Norvell and the team brought. I mean, it's like they want to go win a national championship, and I think that they can get there, and that if we can keep on making continuous improvements, that we'll be there. But just from like a recruit standpoint, and from what I was seeing from the other guys in here, I mean everybody was in love with the place. They love the energy, they love the atmosphere, all that good stuff.
Yeah, you even dropped a hint like, "Hey, there's a few guys, there's some guys that I feel like could be a part of this class." What were they kind of telling you? Not to say who they are, but I mean, obviously we want to let them do what they got to do. But what were they kind of telling you that just really just dramatically jumped out to them, Luke?
Yeah, I mean, they were kind of saying like, I could see myself be here, and like these are the type of people that I want to surround myself with, and this is the type of culture, and kind of just really, yeah, just culture that I want to be in, and I want to be surrounded by these type of people, and these coaches who are willing to coach me to the best athlete that I can be. And they kind of were just saying that this is a spot that they would want to be at, and that this is pretty much everything that they're looking for.
Yeah, now full disclosure with you guys, me and Luke talked all year last year because we did the Friday night rewind. I would always hit Luke up and like, hey, how, and he would kind of break down the season. But to obviously two parts here, just one, FSU was on you before I think things got really hot. And tell me what kind of what they saw in you and just how that meant so much to you as far as a quarterback that they were on you so much and what you fell in love with when they did start hitting you up. And then I guess two, what's it like around Coach Tokarts when you're in that room and he breaks down a lot of your bad stuff, not just the good stuff, but the bad stuff?
Right. Yeah. So I mean, FSU was my first offer, my
Hmm.
first real offer. I mean, it meant something, that no other offer that can mean really. I didn't really grow up having a dream school, but like just them being my first offer was huge for me. It gave me a boost of confidence that I can actually, do this, and be able to live out my dream pretty much, and that I had the ability to do that. So that was huge for me, and it just gave me a huge boost of confidence. Um, and I guess what they just saw is, they took a chance on me. They saw me at that the little. It was, I wouldn't say it was a mega camp, but I mean there was a lot of kids there,
Right.
and so they saw me there, and I guess they just liked what they saw. Coach said, good frame, good arm, and my mechanics are pretty good. Shout out to Denny Thompson down at Six
Yeah.
Point. He's the one who's really polished me up, and got has me looking right. So big shout out to him. But yeah, I guess they just saw that I could be able to do this, and they liked some of the things that I was able to do with the football, and how far I could throw it, how hard I could throw it, all that good stuff, and just mechanics. And I guess that stood out to them, and they offered me. And then, yeah, actually, Coach Tokar's, they have a thing, the good, the bad, and the ugly, and
Yeah.
yeah, they got the good clips where I do something awesome, and then they got the stuff where it's like, you can work on that, and then they got the really really bad stuff. So, it's good to get to know, um, what they think is good and what's not good, and kind of just try and improve on that type of stuff, and make as minimal ugly plays as possible.
Now, you obviously you guys won the state title. I think goal line stand to win that game. Obviously, won the state title, but um, we're going to break down a little film here. You see a lot of these clips. We'll go to the next one. You can tell me. We'll wait for a significant one, but I want you to kind of break down because I don't care what I think, but they want to see kind of what you're seeing on some of these plays. So let's start with this one you're watching here. Obviously fade to the left, pressure come in, and you kind of saw like a check down. But what did you kind of see on that play?
Yeah, so the play before that, we were actually that was the a Sweet 16 game to
Okay,
go to in the playoff Sweet 16, and I had just broken off. It was a total defensive battle, really. Their offense, they ran a triple option Whitewater.
right,
So I think we had 3 possessions in the first 2 quarters on offense, and the first two didn't go our way, and we were sitting in a position down 7-0, and just wasn't a really good spot. So the play before that, I took up off the middle. I had pressure, and it just completely collapsed on me. And I took off up the middle, and I had a huge gain. I think I ran for like 56 or something like that, and
right.
I got tackled down. And so this was the next play. Um, and actually, I got a little pressure. I didn't like it. Moved out the pocket. That dude kind of came up the field, gave him a little stiff arm.
There you go.
And then yeah, and then I took off the sideline, and I just receivers the whole year we got on the same page pretty much, and scramble drill happened a lot. I like to get out and move so I can see things better. So scramble drill happened a good amount. So we all kind of got on the same page, and if you were close, you move up the field, and if you're far away, you come down the field. And so Thomas, he actually made a great play. Went up the field. I saw him, and I kind of just put a little lollipop out there for him. And he makes a great catch, and we actually ended up scoring on the next play to go into half 7-7.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of your clips. I mean, I don't think this said enough, man. Your receivers are outstanding. I mean, you
Yeah,
have
they
some of the
are.
grit. I mean, their depth perception of routes. They understand depth perception of routes, and they understand when you get in trouble, kind of how to manipulate themselves into getting open. But talk about your receivers and some of these deep balls that we're seeing. Obviously, that looked like a hail mary there at the end of the game. But what kind of you talk about the connection with your receivers, how much you study film, because obviously I think you're kind of like a gym rat, like Jameis Winston was getting in that film study. But what did you kind of see in your film study with a lot of your receivers, and just talk about that group?
Yes, sir. I mean, the receiving core that we had this past year was I mean, they were unbelievable. We had Zaquan, and he's committed to go to Minnesota.
Right.
And me and him have been playing together since 6U ball, and he's just a freak athlete, like total freak. And then we had number 2, Thomas Blackshear. He's a young buck, and this was actually his first year starting too. So me and him both really first year starting at the position. And I mean, he's already got offers from Vanderbilt, Boston College, and Minnesota, some other schools as well. And he's just, he's unbelievable. Some of the things that he can do is just
Yeah.
out of this world crazy, just freak athlete type things. And he'll definitely have a great career.
Right.
And then we have Ladon, 84. He's on the outside. I mean, dude's 6'4", and he can jump out the roof. I mean, he can slam a basketball down. So he goes in for the little up top balls, and I mean, he can just out jump anyone pretty much.
Yeah.
So really, just surrounded with a great receiving core and guys that have unbelievable abilities, but they're also coached really well. And our coaching staff does a great job of coaching them and making sure that they're running their routes at the right depth, and getting in and out of cuts. They practice all that good stuff, so kind of makes my job a little easier. Uh, and then film wise, yeah, I mean the offense is in film 4 times a week. We're in film 4 times a week, and also they all just they love the game, so they watch film on their own too. So I'm pretty sure pretty much all of us during school on game days and game weeks, we're all in there not even paying attention to the math class that's going on. We're sitting there watching film on the next team and figuring out the holes and just kind of coming up with things that are going to be there. And then they just go out there and they perform and everybody performs and they make my job easy.
Hey,
Yeah, I mean, go
Michael, you
ahead.
mind if we take some questions from the
Yeah.
folks here, man?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Let's mix in a question or two here, Luke. Thanks for joining us, by the way. Luke, can you actually say your last name so I know it correctly and everybody else that's watching will know this for sure forever?
Yes, sir. Kromenhoek. So it's like the bird, the crow, and then men, and then the other bird, hawk. So Kromenhoek.
See, I was saying it wrong, so that's good to know.
Our guy Mark Sermons is wondering, Luke, what do you do to prepare for things like the Elite 11 camp?
Yeah, so actually, this is coming up pretty soon. I'm going to go head down to 6 Points with Denny Thompson, and he's trained a whole bunch of dudes that have done that. So he's going to kind of tweak some things up and get me in there on the red turf, and we're just going to work some things out, and that's really who's going to train me for it.